While riding in my dad's car, I'd stare out the window, dreaming of riding a beautiful horse, jumping the ditches, doing the serpentine around trees, all while our manes were just flowing in the wind. See, I was one of those little girls who was born horse crazy. I remember pestering my older cousin on the ranch to saddle the horses so we could go ride. Dad bought me my first horse when we lived in Lakewood, just west of Denver. Missy was kept in a pasture near 6th and Kipling by the high school about a mile from her home. I would saddle Missy and ride all day, mostly to the fairgrounds about 5 miles away, where I rode in Westerniers. Missy and I sometimes led the patterns with the American flag in hand, or we rode Liberty, which is bareback over jumps, just a wire around Missy's neck. Some days I'd start out very early, ride north on Kipling to 32nd, head west and explore Tabletop Mountain, and get home just before dark. Other days, I'd just watch the football players from a small knoll above the playing field. With my parents' divorce and being forced to grow up, Missy ended up at the ranch too far away to visit easily. But the lesson she taught me is something I'd like to bottle up and give away. I was blessed to have horses again in my late 40s. I started much heavier due to a botched surgery, and after realizing I could not balance nor ride like I did as a kid, I started taking lessons. I was fortunate to have the best horseman in the state teaching me how to be a true horsewoman. I finally bought my forever horse Buck, and soon started traveling, doing clinics and competing. The ignorant would say I was too fat to ride, but professionals said I rode lighter than the skinny girls. Every comment, whether good or ugly, drove me to improve on our partnership and keep going. I know Buck and I were an inspiration for those who were also told they couldn't, into knowing that they could do anything that their heart desires. But my life had other plans to slow me down. In 2017, getting ready to perform at the Horse Expo, I came out of my horse trailer on a cold morning to flip the breaker on for heat and stepped into a hole, fracturing my ankle. Later that year, I was helping load a generator in my truck when it fell and shattered my leg. A month in the hospital and 5 surgeries later, humbled, God took this time of physical healing to help heal my heart. He lifted the veil and had me take a good look at what was happening in the world. Things I kind of knew of, but I really didn't want to know. I thought there was nothing I could do to stop the world from spinning out of control anyway. But like the ugly too fat to ride comments, it drove me to see God's creation as worth fighting for and to never give up on humanity. He also showed me the power to create a life to thrive in. So I did what I could by getting involved and going where God led, which isn't always easy, and was gifted when He had me revisit plans I have for a healing center for the brokenhearted, healing with horses and with God's real medicine. So it is. God wins, and yes, my partner Buck still carries me with joy so I can see God's beauty between His ears.